the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And tonight on DC News Now at 5, to be released from jail. Why the man responsible for killing 13-year-old Karan Blake is making his way home tonight.
I have mixed emotions about it, and we were discussing today. I like the idea of it being here, but I don't know about traffic. Other than that, I'm all for Virginia getting it.
Well, the competition is heating up. What Virginia residents have to say as leaders fight for the new FBI headquarters location. Also, a data breach. How thousands of federal employees could be at risk of their personal information being compromised, and what's being done to help solve the problem. And we begin with breaking news. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. Breaking now and only on DC News Now, a DC high school staffer facing allegations of sexual misconduct. The allegations involve a staffer and a student at Dunbar High School in Northwest DC, and that's where Katie Rhee is. And Katie, what can you tell us?
Good evening, Mark. So what I can tell you is that DCPD has been brought in to investigate this incident. DCPS confirmed to me that a staffer here at Dunbar is facing allegations of sexual misconduct towards a student here. Now, a letter sent out to parents from Principal Nadine Smith called the allegation disturbing. She said that the staff member is no longer at the school and they've been placed on leave. The school also reported the allegation to Metropolitan Police as well as DC Family and Child Services. The school also stated in that letter that there's counseling support for any students or families that need it in the wake of this incident. Now, we've been waiting on more information from DCPD that we can get to you, but right now, as a little bit of historical context for this school, back in 2016, there was a track coach who is now in prison after sexually abusing 7 different teens on school grounds. He's currently, again, serving prison time. Now, the principal assured us that principal assured parents as well as us in that letter that they take these allegations very seriously. And so coming up at 6, we'll try and speak with some parents here outside of Dunbar High School. But for now, reporting live in Northwest DC, Katie Rhee, DC News Now.
Katie Rhee, thank you. And developing now, a D.C. judge says the man who is charged with shooting and killing 13-year-old Karan Blake can be released. It happened back in January. In court today, Jason Lewis's lawyer argued for his release from custody. His lawyer said he has no record, he's not a flight risk, and he cooperated with police in their investigations. His lawyer also stated that Lewis did not intend to kill Blake. Lewis will wear an ankle monitor, and police say that Blake was suspected to be in a group of people trying to break into cars in Northeast D.C. Lewis is charged with second-degree murder while armed and faces other gun charges. Well, developing now, a Howard County jury has convicted a former Laurel police chief who set a series of revenge fires. 71-year-old David Crawford of Ellicott City was found guilty on 12 charges. Prosecutors stated he set a string of fires against people who he believed wronged him. Crawford served as police chief of Laurel from 2006 until 2010. Victims included former local officials, law enforcement, and relatives. He faces life in prison at sentencing. Well, 2 children are injured and 3 people are displaced after a fire tore through an apartment in D.C. It happened this afternoon on 6th Street Southeast. When firefighters arrived at the scene, they saw heavy smoke on the first floor of an apartment. They say a 9-year-old boy escaped from the fire, but his 6-year-old brother was still inside the building. Residents also had the shelter in place. D.C. Fire and EMS, they were able to rescue the boy and put out the fire. Both of the boys were taken to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. We're told that the investigation into the cause of the fire is ongoing. Well, developing now, it's decision time. Who gets the new coveted FBI headquarters? Will it be Maryland or Virginia? Well, Virginia made their pitch today, one day after Maryland. And our political and government reporter, Leonard N. Fleming, has been covering this issue closely. And Leonard, this has certainly turned into a dogfight between 2 states over which has the most cost-effective plan and the community diversity that President Joe Biden is requiring.
That's exactly right. Virginia's delegation went before the General Services Administration today, and they rejected Maryland's contention that it would cost $1 billion to build on GSA grounds in Springfield. Virginia says their site is closer to other federal agencies that help the mission of the FBI. Senators Mark Warner and Tim Kaine, following their 3-hour meeting with GSA officials, called their Springfield site superior. It's close to other federal agencies like the CAA, they say. But both senators say they also have a culturally diverse region, which should please President Biden's equity requirement, an argument Maryland officials scoff at. But they also said they don't want the president making the decision over the GSA. Here are Kane and Warner at today's briefing.
And we believe, for dozens of reasons, the siting of FBI in close proximity to so many sister agencies who have to work together, not in silos, they have to work together. The Virginia site is so strong.
We welcome the equity comparison, but the idea that you're not also going to compare cost, transportation, flexibility of site, and the needs of the FBI, to ignore those would also be, I think, a disgrace to the Biden administration and to the men and women of the FBI.
Meanwhile, GSA officials in a statement thanked both states' delegations for the, quote, thoughtful input and engagement on this important project, end quote. They will consider the information received and look at next steps. It's decision time, but they're not saying when a decision will be made. Reporting in the studio, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
All right, Leonard, thank you. And taking a live look outside where we had sunny skies with temperatures in the low to mid 50s. Well, the question, are temperatures supposed to drop even more? Heading over now to meteorologist Damon Matson with a check on the forecast. And hey, Damon, do I have this right? Is there a chance of some snow for tomorrow?
Well, I guess I'll give you that answer. It depends, Mark. You gonna be disappointed if I say yes, or are we going the other way with that one? Yeah, unfortunately, things are looking interesting here for the end of the week. But first, today, my goodness, what a beautiful Thursday it was. We got just enough sunshine, and we also lightened up those winds enough to where we reached into the middle and upper 50s from D.C. southward into parts of Virginia, southern Maryland. Stayed in the low 50s off to the north, but hey, again, it ended up warming up at least a little bit, and with that, we were able to enjoy the afternoon hours. Temperatures right now not far off from those highs that we just hit a little bit ago, still in the 50s. And there's a good look at those winds. Not completely calm out there. We've had a light northerly wind going for most of the day, and that's what kept our temperatures from warming up too much throughout the day. But there's our friend, the high pressure center that provided us with such beautiful weather today. But it's moving eastward and looking out to our west. We have that next storm system looming on the horizon. We're going to start to see more and more cloud cover in the sky as we go into the overnight hours. It's still going to be partly cloudy and quiet, but as we approach midnight, we will turn to a more overcast sky. And look at the temperatures. They're dropping here down into the low 40s already by 8 to 9 o'clock. And then by tomorrow morning, we're going to be hovering near that freezing mark. And that is very important because that next system is going to bring some wintry precip. But when exactly is it most likely to fall, and will it stick to the ground out there? We'll have a full check of the forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. New tonight, D.C.'s former interim 911 call center director is suing Mayor Muriel Bowser and Attorney General Brian Schwab. Well, Cleo Subito says that she blew the whistle on violations inside D.C.'s Office of Unified Communications. And she says instead of listening, the city retaliated against her for raising the issues. In a complaint, she says that she was essentially scapegoated into being at fault for the 911 call center's problems. She says that it was only when she raised alarms about issues within the agency that she was demoted and eventually let go. The 911 call center has been under scrutiny for several years because of delayed and blundered responses to emergencies. For example, the call center has sent ambulances to the wrong addresses. When in a lengthy legal complaint, Subito's lawyer writes, shortly after Ms. Subito put defendants on notice of her concern that the city violated the law, the city terminated her employment, despite her demonstrated contributions to improving emergency communication operations and her widespread support from the community members of the council and from the fire and EMS chiefs. Well, the complaint adds that the city's actions were intended to silence the former director and deter others from raising similar concerns. Well, new details tonight on the condition of Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who fell last night at a local hotel. He was there eating at a dinner for the Senate Leadership Fund. McConnell tripped and fell during the event at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in D.C. The 81-year-old Republican has a concussion. His team says that he'll be hospitalized for a few days of observation and treatment. Back in 2019, McConnell tripped and fell at his home in Kentucky, fracturing his shoulder. Well, new tonight, the Maryland State Senate passes a bill giving the Attorney General greater power. Senate Bill 0290 would expand the Attorney General's authority to prosecute police after investigating deaths when officers are involved. The measure now goes to the House, where a similar bill has also been filed. And this comes as Attorney General Anthony Brown also works to broaden his power over housing discrimination as well. He previously told DC News Now he believes that there are many violations of law in terms of housing and employment discrimination. Brown wants to use his office to enforce federal and state civil rights laws. Well, DC will be expanding operations at recreation centers to reach more young people and residents. Starting March 27th, 8 recreation centers will open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. on weekdays, and it will open on Saturdays from 9 to 5, and 45 more rec centers will also have expanded hours in April. And it's aimed to provide more safe, fun, and engaging opportunities for young people.
We are really hearing families in terms of wanting more access, wanting more programs, wanting more slots. And so it's exciting for the council to be able to partner with the mayor's office to deliver this for families.
DC Parks and Recreations will also open a summer camp lottery system for families, and that starts on Monday.